MCU is full of smart people. No matter where you look, you are bound to find a few geniuses. So in this video, we are going to rank the top 10 intelligent beings in the MCU. We are going to consider only those characters who are alive and well. So we are not going to include Tony Stark, Howard Stark or Thanos, and many more who are no longer in the MCU, like the scientist who invented Captain America's Super Soldier Serum. But that said, if I ever make a list of all the characters who ever lived in the MCU, then Tony Stark aka Iron Man would definitely be on the top of my list. The sheer number of things that he has been able to accomplish is just astonishing. From inventing the arc reactor in a cave, to figuring out time travel, to making the gauntlet that could contain all the 6 Infinity Stones. At this point of time, there is no debate that Tony Stark stands above everyone else as the greatest genius of MCU. But since he is no more, as he sacrificed himself to save the universe, we haven't included him in this list. So with that out of the way, let's get started with the countdown.
Where'd that come from?
It's nanotech, you like it?
At number 10, we have Erik Selvig. He is a prominent astrophysicist who figured out the Tesseract for Loki in the first Avengers movie. He not only used the power of Tesseract to open the portal that allowed the Chitauri army to invade New York, but he also planted a failsafe which was the only way to close the portal. In Thor: The Dark World, Erik Selvig was the guy who worked out the science behind the 9 realms, and he figured out that the convergence was coming. He then developed the equipment to stabilize the convergence, which helped Jane Foster and Thor to stop the villain Malekith and thus save the universe. At the end of the movie, he even saves Thor's and Jane's life by teleporting Malekith's ship to other dimension.
Dr. Selvig, your gear is beeping at me.
It's happening. It's sooner than I calculated.
Wait, what's happening?
At number 9, we have Loki. Before you say that he's dead, as we saw Thanos kill him in Avengers Endgame, then let me remind you, he's Loki. And since Marvel has confirmed a new Loki series, which will be a part of MCU Phase 4, we have included Loki in this list. And then there are some rumors that Loki might also appear in Thor: Love and Thunder alongside Jane Foster, Thor and the Mjolnir. So if you think that we have seen the last of Loki in the MCU, then think again. Loki makes this list not because of his breakthrough scientific discoveries, as he hardly has any, but it is because of his genius devil mind which plots such intricate schemes that he has even fooled the beings like Almighty Odin. And then in Thor Ragnarok, he somehow manages to get into the inner circle of Grandmaster in just a few weeks' time. So one thing that we can say for sure about Loki is that he's a man of great plans. It is other matter that those plans are often directed for his personal gains.
You were made to be ruled. In the end, you will always kneel.
At number 8, we have Janet Van Dyne, Hank's Pym wife and the mother of Hope Van Dyne. She was the original Wasp. She worked with Hank Pym and helped him develop many of his technologies. She is a genius in her own right, and now after spending years in Quantum Realm, she knows more than anyone about this mysterious realm. The fact that Janet Van Dyne found a way to survive in the Quantum Realm for years goes on to show her tenacity and her exceptional problem-solving skills. And let's not forget the fact that she helped Hank Pym and Hope perfect the technology to locate her in the Quantum Realm, and she did all that while she was still in the Quantum Realm.
I'm not the same woman I was 30 years ago, Henry. This place, it changes you.
At number 7, we have Rocket Raccoon. He's not some alien raccoon that speaks and understands English. Rather, he's genetically engineered to be smart and sentient. Other than witty sarcastic remarks, he knows a great deal about technology and weapons. Rocket not only freed the Guardians from the Galactic Prison in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but he also convinced Thor to come about the time travel plan in Avengers Endgame. Rocket is a survivor. Put him in any situation and he knows how to make the best of it. In Guardians 2, when he and Nebula were ambushed by the Ravagers, he single-handedly led out the ambush to trap the infiltrators. And it was his presence of mind that saved his life from the infamous Taserface. And then there is the fact that he devised the plan to blow up a celestial, Ego the Living Planet.
Whatever you do, don't push this button. Now, repeat back what I just said.
At number 6, we have Peter Parker. Even though Peter is still a high school kid, he earns his spot on this list. Peter makes his own webbings that are strong enough to support tons of weight. That is something that even impressed Tony Stark. And let me tell you, Tony was not an easy guy to be impressed. In Captain America Civil War, Peter held his own against the Falcon, Winter Soldier and Captain America. Even though he's not a professionally trained soldier, it is his understanding of physics and the incredible presence of mind that helped him topple giant Ant-Man during the Berlin airport battle. In Spider-Man Far From Home, he uses Tony's tech to 3D print a new custom Spider-Man suit, and Hogan even says that Peter reminds him of Tony, and Tony himself considered Peter worthy and smart enough to be in charge of his extremely dangerous piece of tech, Edith. In the MCU, we haven't yet seen the best of Peter. He's a guy with incredible potential, and in the coming years, we'll definitely see him perform some major feats just like he had done in the comics.
You know what I think is really cool? This webbing. The tensile strength is off the charts. Who manufactured that?
I did.
At number 5, we have Jane Foster, a world-renowned genius astrophysicist who figured out how to tweak Erik Selvig's tech to stop the villain Malekith in Thor: The Dark World. Her breakthroughs in the field of astrophysics might have won her a Nobel Prize, but sadly, we haven't seen her in the MCU since Thor: The Dark World. But things are about to change in Thor: Love and Thunder, as she will be returning as the new mighty Thor. And that shouldn't be a much problem for her, as she has known Thor long enough and she has been to Asgard and even understands Asgardian tech. But it remains to be seen what makes Jane Foster worthy. Her dynamics with Thor Odinson would be something to look out for, as she too now would possess the powers of Thor, and she is going to be a lot smarter than some 1500-year-old Thor Odinson.
The walls between worlds will be almost non-existent. Physics is going to go ballistic. Increases and decreases in gravity, spatial extrusions. The very fabric of reality is going to be torn apart.
At number 4, we have Hank Pym, the inventor of Pym particles that allows Ant-Man to alter his size. He's a brilliant physicist whose work in the field of nanotech made him a superstar in the scientific community. He was the one who came to the realization that the humans can travel between various dimensions if we had the right technology. And in Ant-Man and the Wasp, he makes a quantum tunnel to travel into the quantum realm and then return back safely. It is other matter that his wife Janet Van Dyne helps Hank Pym in reducing the size of that quantum tunnel so that it could fit in the back of a pickup van. The idea of Ant-Man was possible because of Hank Pym. Not only the suit, but also the Pym particles that Ant-Man uses to alter the size of other objects, and often he uses it as a weapon in combat, was also invented by Hank Pym. Other than that, the tech to communicate with ants is also one of many Hank's major achievements. And let's not forget that he was the original Ant-Man until he decided that he was too old for that stuff and instead hired Scott Lang to be the new Ant-Man. And it is not only the various scientific discoveries that Hank Pym is known for, he even founded his own multi-billion company, the Pym Technologies.
Second chances don't come around all that much. So next time you think you might see one, I suggest you take it real close.
At number 3, we have the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. Before being a wizard, he was a world-renowned neurosurgeon. Stephen Strange often claimed that he was actually the best in the world. It is a very tough thing to be a neurosurgeon, and that is an understatement. But to have the brains to master both the scientific world and the world of magic in a single life, it's something that I don't have words to describe. A journey from being a man of science to the Sorcerer Supreme takes more than a genius-level intellect. His photographic memories have served him well over the years, from completing his MD and PhD simultaneously to mastering numerous complex spells in such a short span of time. In the Doctor Strange movie, we see him finish volumes of books on various aspects of magic which were written in Sanskrit, a language that Strange has never studied before. So the Sorcerer Supreme has a lot up his sleeve than he lets on.
Codex Imperium, Key of Solomon. You finished all of this?
Yup.
At number 2, we have the Professor Hulk. Bruce Banner himself is a genius who would have earned a spot on this list. With 7 PhDs, Bruce is a highly respected scientist in the Marvel Universe. In Spider-Man Homecoming, we even see his pic on the wall along with other major scientists. World-leading expert on gamma radiations, Bruce Banner has mastered various scientific fields. He even helps Tony with Ultron, and Tony Stark always considered him an equal as far as intelligence is concerned. So when you take Bruce Banner's brain and put it on steroids, you get Professor Hulk. Dubbed as the smartest version of Hulk, Professor Hulk boasts higher intelligence than Banner. In Avengers Endgame, he almost worked out time travel, and maybe given enough time, he would have done it. But luckily the Avengers then had Tony Stark. And it makes sense to assume that Professor Hulk would have helped Tony in developing the gauntlet, as he knew that the radiation was mostly gamma, and the reason why he puts on the gauntlet instead of letting Thor do it. In the coming years, we hope we see more of Professor Hulk, as Marvel hasn't yet confirmed when we will be seeing Hulk next.
That is so wrong on so many. I don't want to fight your sister. That's a family issue.
She's an evil being.
I don't care what she is. I'm not fighting any more beings. I'm sick of it.
And finally, at number 1, we have Shuri. She has been confirmed by Marvel to be the most intelligent person in the MCU. Black Panther's sister is a prodigy who looks after the Wakandan technology and develops new cutting-edge tech to the most versatile metal known to mankind, the vibranium. So far in the MCU, we have seen Shuri develop a new Black Panther suit that can absorb damage and then release them, causing energy bursts. Many people think that it is vibranium that does the magic and Shuri is just some okay scientist, but that is not necessarily the case. In Avengers Infinity War, when the team was trying to save Vision, Cap took them to Wakanda, where Shuri suggested a novel way to remove the Mind Stone from Vision, something that neither Tony and Banner had thought before while creating Vision. And so far, Shuri has appeared in only 2 MCU movies. In Black Panther 2, we will see her interact with the outside world, and hopefully, we'll get to know more of her genius. With that, we'll bring this video to an end. Let me know in the comments, do you think I missed any character, or did someone else deserve the number 1 spot? Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming content.